Welcome back to Bizarre Sunday. I am Andy Matsky. That is Matthew Buchanan.
Yo.
We are here today talking about a wide range of topics. In this episode, we talk about sports, music, concert-going experiences, giving up your left kidney.
Yep.
And we review James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah.
It's a lot of random topics of personal interest. If you get bored with one of them, in the show notes, you should be able to click to fast forward to where we put in the things I'll put in the chapter markers. This episode is all inspired by listener suggestions.
Yep.
I mean, maybe not every topic, but what got the ball rolling was a listener request that we talk about sports. And so if you want to kind of inspire an episode like this, we're going to try to do this probably like every 5 episodes. I mean, this is our 5th one, and maybe we'll follow our same pattern. Every 5 episodes, we'll kind of cover the listener suggestions that maybe wouldn't make a full episode.
Yeah.
So if you have an idea, put it in the comments below or send it to us, and we will do our best to get to it in an episode like this. I'm hoping we will start planning out our episodes a bit more in advance, and so we can definitely like schedule in when we're going to talk about things like this. That being said, enjoy the rest of our conversation. One of the things we got asked to talk about was sports.
Yeah.
And that's all we were given was
Just sports.
Sports. I don't know exactly what you want to hear us talk about, because I think you and I like fairly different sports.
Yeah.
I just got into American football.
Oh, really?
Last year. Did you not? Yeah, like that was kind of my trial run. Brett was like, shout out Brett Henry. But shout out Brett Henry. He was like, we'll get you into football. And there's other people who've tried, and it has not worked.
Yeah.
So, but I gave it a shot. My family's not really big football people. My dad's not a big football guy, but I liked it. I mean, I like that you're like engaged the whole time.
Yeah.
There's like stuff going on all the time. Incremental improvement. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite sport by any stretch of the imagination, but I like it a lot. Is there anything recent in sports we could talk about? I mean,
yeah. Well,
CP3 is back in LA.
Well, yeah.
Not that, I guess.
Not that. I mean, like, we had the WNBA is fighting for higher pay.
The hot takes come later in the episode.
Yeah. Cleveland Browns are still just as bad as they were this time last year.
Yeah. I think, we're in a pretty tough spot.
You guys keep getting arrested.
Yeah, that's tough. Steelers got Aaron Rodgers, which is crazy.
Let's just leave that behind.
MLB All-Star Game happened, and it was great. That was like a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
They did this thing where apparently if the All-Star Game used to end in a tie, it'd just be over. Like at the end of 9 innings, it'd be done.
Yeah. They
wouldn't play extra innings, which is like, okay, that's weird. But this year, or maybe in the past, they've introduced this thing where if it was a tie, they'd do a swing off. So like a mini home run derby.
That's kind of sick.
And that's what happened this time around. And they had 3 guys from each team. Each got 3 swings. So they could take as many pitches as they wanted. But if they swung, it counted.
Yeah. And
it was funny because nobody, like, this has never been done before. So it took extra time because they needed to, like, explain it to everybody. The managerial decisions, because the manager gets to pick 3 players from each team. The managerial decisions for the AL were questionable. Like, they were, like, a couple guys. Like, one guy was like, oh, yeah. And then the others were like, why these guys? And then the National League picks were like, oh, no. These guys are legit. And then it worked out that the math was Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs with his 3 swings.
Ridiculous.
And won the All-Star game for the National League, which apparently they haven't won a lot of All-Star games recently, which is kind of crazy because the National League seems stacked.
Yeah, comparably, yeah.
But baseball's baseball. The Guardians are back to 500, which is
We never would have thought.
just wild because they're at 500. They've won 50 games, lost 50 games, and they are the second best team in the AL Central.
Which is
It's like that's baseball.
embarrassing.
That's baseball. Is that your team that's doing like okay is better than most teams in their division. It's been a weird year for baseball. I like baseball a lot. You don't.
No, I follow loosely.
Yeah, you don't. Baseball's my favorite sport for those playing along at home. That's my favorite sport. I think it's because there's so much like there's such definitive lines on what's fair play and what's foul play. I mean, there's still like all this like debate, but there's literally a line.
Yeah.
As opposed to like basketball where like fouls.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're using, it's so funny that all these things are the same terms, but like fouls are like whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm a casual NBA fan, as my attire may suggest, but watching the playoffs this year, because a team I liked went very far, was just awful because it's like it was like things would get called, things wouldn't get called. It's the playoffs, so they let them play more physical than the regular season, which is just weird.
Yeah.
And then when the finals comes around, it's like a whole new ball game. And like almost immediately after the finals was over, it was like, yeah, there were some pretty bad calls both ways that were missed, or things that were called fouls that are like,
Excuse me.
yeah. So like both ways easily. I will maintain till the day I die, and this is where we really can lose some people because I'm talking in such specifics. I will maintain that there's that like Aaron Nesmith foul, and it was either like game 1 or game 2 where he like clobbered SGA. I will maintain that wasn't a flagrant foul because it wasn't. Like it wasn't called in the game in a series where you really think they wouldn't call a flagrant foul against SGA if they could.
That's fair.
So I saw SGA get fouled on a jump ball. I'm playing this game. Hey, I want to invite you, listener, along to play the game with me. We're going to play the game called How Long Is It Until You See a Foul Called on a Jump Ball Again? I'll look up the date and I'll bring it up maybe next episode if I remember. I'll find the date of when that foul on that jump ball was, and we'll play a game across all levels of basketball. We'll just wait till the next one.
Yeah. As somebody, I played basketball in high school and watched a bunch of it in college. I've never seen
Yeah.
that. I just have never seen that.
And it wasn't because like a dude shoved him. Like it wasn't like it shoved him. It was like because their hands hit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah,
what am
that
I
happened
watching?
to me plenty of times in
Yeah.
high school.
And you were it never crossed your mind of, oh, that was a foul.
Yeah, ouchie. How dare you do that to me? No, that never happened. But we're being a little too controversial, I think, because too many people like SGA.
A lot of people like SGA. I like SGA. So I'm a Pacers fan. Is what I've been alluding to.
Yes.
I'm a Pacers fan. And part of the challenge of the finals was like I want to hate the Thunder, but I can't.
No, yeah,
Like
they're
it was
a good
like
team.
it was a two-sided coin, because then sometimes it was like, oh, I kind of hate the Thunder completely because of like what just happened. But it's like it's really hard to not hate this team of guys who are like pretty much my age, having the time of their life playing basketball,
doing their passion.
and it's like it's hard to not hate this team, and I still kind of don't.
Yeah,
Because of the way things went. It's like, well, what happened?
Yeah,
What happened?
when
So,
Tyrese went out, like I think everybody kind of knew
it's like, oh.
the trajectory of the series at that point.
I have a weird opinion on the way I've rationalized what happened to Tyrese, which is hey, hot takes are later, but he was saying all this stuff about like God is allowing me this opportunity, and yet the way he was acting in some of those games is not modeling Christ.
No, yeah,
Especially in Game 7, was saying things in the first 9 minutes that I don't think, hey, Tyrese, if you're listening, I love you, brother. I should have brought this to you first. But that I don't think man modeling Christ would say and
Yeah.
act like. So am I saying God judged Tyrese Halliburton because he was acting that way? I don't know. But that's the way I rationalize it is would we have wanted the Christian hero of the finals to be saying and acting the way he was? No. So anyways.
My team got assaulted in the first round.
And then everyone was like, it's fine. It's the Warriors.
Yeah. I'm a Warriors fan. I have been for a long time, not just when they started being successful. But yeah, Steph getting absolutely assaulted by the Rockets in the first series was like, yeah, that just, they're not protecting him. They're not doing. It was definitely a weird, I think, a wake up call for everybody is like, they're letting us get away with all of this stuff. Because, I mean, you can look back. There's, like, literally low lights of just, like, Steph Curry or other Warriors players getting absolutely violently assaulted by the Rockets.
And that's why, I mean, if a friend of mine reached out to me after the finals and was like, are you okay? And I said pretty much this whole thing of, like, you know, with a little time removed from it, like, this is why I don't watch basketball. Is because the foul, like, why I don't watch the NBA. I like basketball a lot. If you're in Cleveland, and I don't know how many of our listeners actually are in the Cleveland area, the G League team of the Cavs is really fun to go see. I don't know if they're going to be back playing where they were last year, this year, but if they are, you absolutely have to go. It's in this old, like, concert venue, but old concert venue as in, like, built in the teens or 20s, like 19 teens and 20s. And it's super cool. I like going to basketball games. I'm wearing a college that I don't go to's hat because I like their college basketball team. Like, I like college basketball.
Yeah.
I just can't deal with the NBA.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Like, I would be an NBA fan. Also, hey, National Basketball Association, it's because you make it so difficult for me to actually watch the games.
True.
That's for all major league sports, but that's also part of it, is because as a person who's a Cavs fan living in the Cleveland area who doesn't have, like, local cable, it's nearly impossible for me to watch Cavs game. So that's also part of why I like baseball, is because they're kind of realizing that's a problem. Yeah. And they're, especially because the networks, this is out in the weeds of sports media news, because a lot of the like sports networks that were that the Major League Baseball teams were a part of have gone out of business. Yeah. So the Guardians this year have a package, and a couple other teams where you can just stream their games if you're a fan, which is a new thing. Yeah. Which is wild, and you wonder why you don't have young fans of your sports. Yeah. That is a nice thing. That is another nice thing about football, is I feel like there's less obstacles there, but we're in the market for football. So yeah, we're in both of our markets, so it's a little different, but
I've got something to say. Yeah. I showed it to you earlier, right? Mm-hmm. But Josiah Queen. Yeah. It's getting unbearable. We talked about it that 1 week.
We talked about it like 3 weeks ago.
And it hasn't left any of, like, my reels on YouTube or on Instagram. I open it up, and within the first 5, I've got, "We got dust on our Bibles."
I think part of it is it's just that song. He is just promoting that song.
Yeah, it's just that. But he does have a cool new version. I showed you it earlier.
I did hear the new version. I didn't know about that till you showed it to me. But it's kind of like, what if we took Dusty Bibles and made it good?
Yeah. What if we took Dusty Bibles and made it, like, singer-songwritery? Yeah. And, like, actually listenable.
I feel like the first one's very singer-songwritery.
Yeah, but, like, bare bones singer-songwritery. I am, like, new to music. This is what I came up with. How do you like I thought it was good. It's called the Mount Zion version.
I like it. I like it more. I need to listen to it more. But I mean, it is kind of crazy. I showed you screen recordings of my YouTube Shorts feed after we recorded that episode, and I meant to, like, post it somewhere, but I didn't, because it's Dusty Bibles. Maybe I'll put it over the screen now. It's like a reel there's gonna be no sound. This is my voiceover. There's a reel, and then you scroll like a couple, and then there's Dusty Bibles, and then you scroll another one. It's Dusty Bibles, and then like 2 minutes later, reel. It's Dusty Bibles. 2 more Dusty Bibles. A couple more Dusty Bibles, and I'll still have that. I think I had that today or yesterday, which was consecutive reels. They weren't both his. To your credit, Josiah, they weren't both yours. I think one of them was. And then the other one was some Christian influencer young lady who was saying we got dust on our Bibles.
And the other thing, I have a really, as a musician, I have a thing. He does the song in a lower key than he actually recorded it in. And that's a pet peeve of mine, because if you're gonna post it in this key, right?
Yeah.
Like just post it in a key that you're actually capable of doing it in.
I mean, part of those things, and look, let me tell you about music production, because I know so much about it. I think it's Rick Rubin talks about you want to record up and like pretty much out of your range, and a lot of songs do that are like just out of people's range. Great example that we're all familiar with. I believe in a thing called Love by The Darkness. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
We got to put a pin in that. But anyways, that's like just out of Justin Hawkins' range.
Okay.
It's this really high. Do you? Yeah.
I'm following. I'm following.
And there's other songs like that. Trust me. That's where if I was presenting a good argument, I'd go like X, Y, and Z. So, but I'm presenting kind of a stream of consciousness thing that's based off something I think I saw on an Instagram reel. But if he's recording that where it's like at the end of his range, which it certainly seems like it is, then he's not going to perform it like that all the time, because then he's going to die. He'll blow up.
But like that's
the scientific reason why.
Single like live reel of his is in like consistently just an entire step down from
it's a whole step, right? So it's
not a half step. It's a whole step down. And like we were even like last week I was like playing, because I showed you the difference and I was playing it, and then I was like, that original key it's tough, right?
Yeah.
But like it's just like why don't we just, because it sounds just as good. I think it goes from D to C. Mm-hmm. It sounds just as good.
Would you rather you just release it in C? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you just, and like D, like the argument is like, oh, D sounds so great, you know, it's such a like sonically pleasing key. But not if you can't do it. I don't know. That's my rant fair. About Josiah Queen for today.
My pin that I wanted to put in something. I have an idea for an episode, and we're going to put it in the middle of this, just because I won't remember to tell you unless we're recording. I think we should do an episode of the show where we each make a playlist of like 7 songs, and the other one has to listen to it, and then we talk about it.
Okay.
And like trying to introduce each other to music.
I like it.
Because I want to like make you listen to certain songs, and then have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Without it being like. It's nothing like bad. Like,
no.
I believe in a thing called Love's probably going to be on it now, because apparently you don't know that song. But I forget I'm somewhere between Gen X and a millennial at heart.
Yeah.
But and all the comments from the kids in the youth group will be like, I know that song, and I'm not. I know. I know.
You're going to get,
I know. Anyways, it would be a lot of fun. Like, and I've been thinking, because there's been a couple songs that I've realized recently that like I absolutely love, and I've been listening to again. Like, you know, this song's been in my life for a long time, and I still just love it. That I want to like share and see what you think, because I feel like there'll be somewhere you're like, I hate it, and then I hope you'll be like, oh, I've heard a song like this before. I actually like it.
Yeah, I have a very.
It won't all just be Wu-Tang Clan songs or something like that.
That's good.
Not all of them.
Yeah, I have a very openly closed mind about music.
We got to come up with a new phrase.
I was trying to think about it. Like, I'm very open to listening to new music, but I have a very set genre of, or like a set list of things like in music that'll instantly turn me off to like a band or a song. So it's like,
don't tell me, because I want to see if I can change any of that without knowing. I have a very wide taste in music. I once had a friend of mine, and I'm very grateful for this to this day, defend my taste in music as how could you say he has a bad taste in music? He listens to everything.
To everything, yeah.
Which is, I think that's a fair argument, like maybe why I don't have a great taste in music is that it pretty much is like, oh, I like this, is the only feeling a song needs to invoke to something, to like a sound, to a verse. I just need to go like, oh yeah, to something, and then it's in the rotation. I mean, there's definitely like I prefer certain things, but even that's kind of all over the place. Like my music swings seasonally between like rap of various kinds and like alt rock, indie rock stuff. That's the eclipse of my life, the oscillation of my music taste, and it does seem to happen seasonally. And I also am a huge like bluegrass guy.
Really?
Yeah. So
interesting.
And that comes out, I think, geographically more than anything.
That's
where
fair.
I am, not even necessarily in the broader United States, but what environment I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're anywhere rural.
Yeah, when I'm driving rural Ohio on my way home, it's like
there's nothing better.
Yeah.
There's one time, story for another day, when I was driving back from Florida by myself, I was driving through the mountains and I was listening to bluegrass, and it was like the best. It was like I was in either one of the Carolinas or Virginia. I think I was in Virginia, and it was just
that's the best
perfect.
place to do it.
It was
awesome.
Because it's the music that the land itself has made.
Yeah.
And there's something about that like genuinely like the music is from them hills. Yeah. So
how do we feel about country music? Like, and I'm not talking like Morgan Wallen country. I'm talking like country music.
I mean, I used to hate it. I think I tried to be cool when I was, in my late teens of not liking country music. But I think bluegrass really helped me, because I really started liking bluegrass when I was like 18, 19. And I heard Foggy Mountain Breakdown. I don't even remember how, but I heard it. I was living in Akron, and I had my earphones in, like you're not even like AirPods, like those Apple earbuds in, and there was something about it that I loved. My grandpa's a big fan of country or of bluegrass, and so like those memories kind of got brought in, and I just listened to that song over and over.
Yeah.
And as I was doing that, then country, like older country, kind of got into the mix, and there's some of it is like hit or miss. I think.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I'm a big Charlie Crockett fan, who is kind of like, do you know Charlie Crockett? Charlie Crockett is this country western artist, but his influences and like kind of the variation of that really swings at times. There's some stuff of his that is really kind of in that soulful sound that's really good, and there's other stuff that leans like way more old country western.
Yeah.
Like his album The Man from Waco is a lot of that stuff. Another story. I'm just going to tell all my stories today.
I love it.
I first heard Charlie Crockett when I was in Alaska. And if you ever want to be introduced to like a country western artist, Alaska might just be the place to do it, because it is like the frontier.
Does it make you homesick at all? Like, was it like, oh my gosh, I wish I was...
No, it was like, this fits the vibe. I think everything else made me homesick on that trip. But that was my buddy Eli put me onto him, and ever since I haven't looked back with Charlie Crockett. But I mean, I like it. I mean, it's hit or miss. That's what I was saying. It's like, it's either this is one of the best songs ever, or it's like, I don't care for it. And you, like, what do you think?
Well, okay, so I am just kind of getting into that realm of music in general. It started with like listening to some like indie country artists that are more like that singer-songwriter with like a little bit of a country twang. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this like isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And now I listen to more of like the Zach Bryan, some of those more mainstream people, which I think I really like it. But I was going to say, I told somebody that I would, and now I don't go to concerts a whole lot, so I want to preface it with that. There are few artists that I would. I told somebody I'd give my left kidney for.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And they told me I was crazy, and that I need my left kidney, and I was like, no, God gave us two.
We do have two for a reason.
And people live on one kidney all the time. And I feel like giving a left kidney wouldn't be that crazy to go to like some like. Imagine,
I wouldn't.
Well, all right. I guess I'm alone on this one.
I mean, concerts these days are expensive, and
That's what I'm saying.
I'm bummed, but
I'm saying like
especially Northeast Ohio concerts are literally more expensive than other places. So many people
fair.
here are like, I like live music, that they cost more.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
I mean, it's such a great area for it
Yeah.
though. But I want to go back to my point.
Okay.
I feel like there are some artists that are like they're like your favorite artist, where the only way you're gonna see them live is they are requiring your left kidney.
No,
I would do that.
I'm so cool that the artists I really, really love are either dead or small enough that I can still go see them.
Yeah, see, that's just. I mean, like I listen. Like I
That's
was
a
talking
joke. For those who don't know me, that was a joke that I'm so cool. But it's also it's true that the artists I really like are either. I mean, that being said, there's a band that's one of my favorite bands ever that's coming to town as part of like a larger tour that the tickets are really expensive, and I'm like, I might just bite the bullet and go.
Which one?
You have no clue who they are. It's a band called Big Country. They're from the 80s. It's like, hey, you might dig them because I can't figure out why I like them, but they have strong Celtic influence on their music, even though it's like 80s rock. So a lot of the like arrangements of their music are kind of around that. I'll send you songs later.
I just wanted to make sure I had it pulled up.
Yeah. And so I think that's part of why I dig it, is because some of that same spice, some of the same herb is used in like bluegrass.
Yeah.
Bluegrass. It's kind of the same thing at its roots, because that band is from Ireland or Scotland or somewhere.
That's
there.
really cool.
They were big in the 80s, but their music, it is just exactly what I want when it comes to like 80s rock, like without fail. So even when I was first getting into them a couple summers ago, it would be like, and look, surprise and something unexpected is a big part of what can be fun about enjoying art. But on the other hand, it would be like they'd do something and I'd be like, that was right. They'd like a decision, a song will kind of take a different turn, and it's like, that's exactly where the song needed to go.
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of, I don't know, if you're ever reading like an author that like you think the same as, it's kind of the same thing as like that. That's what I would have done.
See, that's what I'm saying though. Wouldn't it be so awesome to see like?
It would be. They're also old and their lead singer's dead, and so I don't know what they're even doing on this tour. But
who
would you give your left kidney to go see?
I told somebody that I would give my left kidney to go see the band Camino, which I've sent you a couple of their songs.
Are they big?
They got like 1.5 million monthly listeners.
That's
which is like, they're not small, but they're definitely like, in comparison to those bigger artists, they're not there. I think they're awesome. And so when I was like shocked that like other people don't feel as strongly about like some of their favorite artists as I do.
Yeah, well, you are like a music guy.
Yeah, see, like I would love to just go, and if it cost a kidney, you know.
There's a bunch of people with bandages and
exactly
scars. Yeah, I guess so. I mean that is what's nice about like liking smaller artists. One of my favorite bands is another one of my favorite bands is a band called Doc Watson. They're from Columbus. A buddy of mine who I think he was into them before he lived down there, but he got me into them, and I just really liked their stuff. And then they were playing a show up here in Cleveland a couple winters ago, and me and my friends went. Tickets were like $20, and we were there like the whole time. It was them, a band called it's a group called the Hunter Tones, which are this awesome brass trio that then have a normal band trio backing them up, and we had no clue who they were, and they were one of the opening acts, and it was just incredible. And then the band that opened was this band called Locanti, it's a Cleveland band, and we had no clue who they were, and they were fantastic. They were, kind of like indie rock, and they opened up and they had a guy on saxophone as one of their lead guys. Their entire band was locked in, and it like ended with them just jamming out. And when like guitarists, like lead guitarists will kind of like go back and forth with each other, the guy on lead guitar and the guy on saxophone did that. Which was just awesome. And then by the time the guys we were there to go see got on, by the time Doc Robinson was getting on, we worked our way to the front, and we were literally like in front, as close as I am to you. I was close to like the lead singer.
Dang.
And it was just awesome.
That's awesome.
And then it was a blizzard on the ride home, and that sucked so bad. But
worth it.
It was worth. See, I'd risk my life in that way again, because I was even like, it was a blizzard going on when we were leaving.
Yeah.
So we knew what we were getting in for, but it was a great time. It might be my favorite concert, even though, I've had other similar enough experiences with artists that I really liked. When I went and saw Indie Tribe, it was like everyone was there for Josiah Queen.
Yeah.
And
that was back before he had like really.
That was right on the rise. The Prodigal was out, but I don't think he was rising.
Yeah.
And everyone was there to see him. And then Indie Tribe was like the headlining act, but like nobody stayed around. So there literally was like the pit in front, which was probably 10 people deep, if that, maybe a little more. And that was it. And that was dope, because everyone who was there for Indie Tribe.
Yeah.
And that was...
I was so sad because we had talked about, like, I had mentioned it to you and you were already going with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, like I wanted to go to this. I don't want to go by myself because that'd be weird.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about how awesome it was.
You should have just pulled up.
I should have. It's my fault. It's my fault.
It was fun. It was this. We saw somebody else that like is big, but me and Mark, my friend Mark, shout out, Mark Lloyd Price. We were there for Indie Tribe.
Yeah.
And we both were like, oh, that Josiah Queen kid's real cool. We stood in the back because we were just like, we're not here for him. And then we went up for Indie Tribe, and that was dope. Concert experiences was not on the bingo card for today, but I'm glad.
Sorry, that's my fault.
No, it's good. I could keep going. But I won't. This is the connection that I think part of what got this going for me back to country music is part of what I think what got me interested in country music was the band Camp. Do you know Camp? Camp's a Ohio band that's like made it big. They toured with the Lumineers.
Oh, dang.
I saw them in the Lumineers in Cincinnati a couple years ago. And the Lumineers is this band that was real popular a while ago that apparently not everyone knows about anymore.
We're learning that we're old and, and people don't know
the new
who
generation.
Lumineers are.
Hey, Lumineers, you need to write a hit. Again, I know artists don't like to do this, but write a hit.
Please.
Yeah.
Please write like Ophelia
Ophelia
version
2, yeah, and get that out. They probably know that TikTok sound, but don't know it's them. Anyways, I saw Camp, and Camp is very much like bluegrass adjacent, at least in their earlier stuff.
Yeah.
And that was dope, but that was just an awesome concert. That was at I forget what it's called. There's a concert venue in Cincinnati that's down by the river. It's like it might be called Riverbend. And
I think other people have mentioned it before.
It's awesome because it's right along the Ohio River, and it was great. It was a great concert. It rained when they were playing Ophelia and Sleep on the Floor, and we were outside. We were on the lawn, and so we got rained on.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it was like a really nice day. It was a fun time. It was a good. That's up there too.
See, yeah, like day trips like that to go see concerts in like new places is like what I would live for. Not like I hate being in big crowds of people.
Yeah.
But like the experience and the people that you go with are like something that I would like.
Well, that was an overnight ordeal. That was
that would be awesome.
That was great. We stayed at a friend of our sister's place. So we were friends with this person, and we kind of knew the sibling, but we stayed with, and that was fun, and it was just a good time. We stopped in Columbus for Graders, which is an ice cream place, on our way back, and then drove through like a tornado warning. Like I was driving. I drove home in the worst weather ever from Cincinnati to Cleveland, like the east side of Cleveland, which is like on a good day, like a 4.5, 5 hour drive. And I drove home, I think the entire way. And it was raining the entire time. And then sometimes it was raining really bad. So I literally was in the right lane, and I was right or left lane. I was in a curb lane, and I literally knew that I had hit the rumble strip if I started going out like off the road. And that was like my only,
That was
like
it.
that. And I could kind of see the white line on the other side. And I was like, this is good. And it was just me and my friend up front. And then Mark was there. Mark and Holly were in the back. I don't know why I didn't shout out Nadia. Nadia's remaining anonymous. My friend's up front. And I was driving her car, which is this tiny little, it's one of those, like, what is it, the Ford EcoBoost? So it was this tiny little car.
Little, yeah.
And I was driving that, and it was in the rain and wind. And I was just like, oh, let's hope we make it. And we did. It was a good time.
That's awesome.
Mark and Holly were like asleep in the back. That's what I was saying. It's like everyone was like kind of relaxed except for me. Like,
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
But that was fun. That was a good concert experience. If you like music, go to concerts.
Yeah.
There's people who don't follow that advice, so that's people don't like live music, which is crazy.
Men of Rocks was yesterday.
Yeah.
And as you know, that's like
right. Why don't you go to those?
Well, I opened my sliding door to my patio, and I'll just listen to it
because you
from
could
there.
walk.
Yeah, it was like actually this was probably the best Men of Rocks that I'd ever like heard.
You know who it was?
I have no clue.
There's a national band that was playing later this summer. It might have been them.
Yeah, I mean it was
Vertical Horizon was playing there. That's one of them.
It was so good. Like they got like you could tell he was like the lead singer was locked in. They were doing covers of songs and stuff.
Well, if they're doing covers, then it probably wasn't this.
And it was like he was hitting falsetto stuff. It was like very clearly
shout out that band.
Yeah, that band. But no, what I was gonna say is I like saw a couple of clips from the Superman movie and went for the first time. Like we watched it in theaters, but like it took me seeing the clip a couple of times going, oh my gosh, I know where that is.
Dude. Okay, let's just do it. Full send Superman review. We went and saw Superman a week after it came out, and it was a fun time. But dude, the novelty of it being Cleveland never wore off. I have mixed feelings about Superman. That's my the honest truth. I have very mixed feelings about Superman, but I loved that it was Cleveland. And like I owe one to James Gunn for like committing to it being Cleveland. Yeah. And the more you spend time around Cleveland, the more you'll go,
yeah, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's that place. Oh my gosh. For example, it's like, oh my gosh, I almost pointed out during the movie, it's like there's a scene in the movie that's really close to where Mark and Holly got engaged.
Oh, that's so
cool. It's like that's really like I've been there. I know where that is. That's where my prom was. Like,
yeah.
As a Clevelander, I've never had that with a movie, let alone like a superhero movie.
Yeah, I'm shocked because you said you have like super mixed feelings about it. I thought the movie was awesome. Like I'm almost willing to go back and rewatch it in theaters.
I'll go watch it in theaters again happily. That's part of like I told you stuff just didn't quite sit right. Spoilers from here on out. I don't know if I'll actually say anything that spoils the movie, but fair warning. I just don't think Silver Age shenanigans and James Gunn mixed the way I would have liked them to. I think James Gunn excels at, to use more comic lingo, Bronze Age stuff. So like the Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of goofy but grimy stories. Yeah. But I think he got in his own way with some things. I'm not a big fan of like the way he does oneers, which is like the one take stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that it's taking, and this is part of why I want to see it again, is like taking this is good advice for enjoying superhero movies, taking what I'd want it to be and like consciously setting it aside.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think I can still not like it. And I almost am tempted to say, that's the thing is like, I try so hard in my life these days to not be a hater.
Yeah.
And so I kind of don't know how to articulate not liking it like I did. But I need to see it again. But I don't like it because the way those two things did not mix.
Yeah.
And I don't have any big problems with the movie. That's the thing, is like, I don't hate Justice Gang. That was a little like, okay, but I still like, I didn't hate it. I loved the universe. I think he absolutely nailed Superman and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
The characters are great. I think most of the characters in the movies are really good. And then some of them, and I said this as we were leaving the theater, because I was like starting to be able to figure it out. Some of them felt more like caricatures, which is like a mild distinction to make, but like they felt way more cartoony than like real people. An example of that being like Mr. Terrific, or that random lady from the Daily Planet who's in there. The guy from SNL's character, the one other guy at the Daily Planet. They all like those like kind of ensemble characters. I mean, and Mr. Terrific's more than an ensemble character, luckily. Love Mr. Terrific. But they just felt kind of off. They didn't feel like fully sketched out.
Yeah.
And not that I need rich backstory of all these people, but it's kind of like, this girl is, promiscuous, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like Mr. Terrific there's more to him than that. It's like, this guy's goofy and funny, and that's it. Which, it's like, that's a James Gunn movie, but in this like heart of gold Superman movie.
Yeah.
The thing I'll say though, to James Gunn's credit too, and I haven't said this yet anywhere, I did almost cry when it was show him as like the video of his parents. It soothes him, and it was Ma and Pa Kent.
Yeah.
And I'm almost getting misty now. I can feel it slowly starting. Like, I had to be like, you're with the boys. You're not crying to this. Like, I had to like actively fight it, because it was, and that's a James Gunn moment that was great.
Yeah, that
that
really
was
good.
like, oh, because it caught me off guard, because I had stayed like spoiler free, and I was like, that's weird. And then it was Mon Pocket, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, that's
I was
just
definitely in that same boat.
that was incredible.
I don't know. The thing that I think I really appreciate about it is there was the mix between the super serious, like Superman, and also the like goofiness of like actual like what life would look like for superheroes in a world with superheroes.
Yeah.
Because like in a sense, Mr. Terrific comparatively to like a Green Lantern is like, there's no.
Yeah, and I look, as the context I think that our audience and you need is like, I was a big comics guy at one time, and I was a DC guy.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of this that's like close to home. The Green Lanterns being one of those things where just the fact where we have a movie where where we're full sending, yeah, I'm in the Green Lantern Corps, I took an oath, this, that, and the other, like, I'm all there for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The like in media res, which is the fancy literary language for like it just starting in the middle of the story, all for that.
Yeah.
That some things didn't work.
Yeah, I think too, it's like, we had Man of Steel, right? That's a very different Superman than what I think James Gunn is trying to portray. Like, even in his interviews that he's done, is like, Superman is a man for the people.
Yeah.
Like, so like you see that, like, I don't remember, and this isn't a spoiler, I don't remember there being an actual casualty on screen, or even like, oh, that you can tell the people died.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's one thing to like their credit, other than like there were a couple of scenes where like very clearly somebody died, but like when Superman was there to save people, he saved people. Like when the building was falling on the bridge, he caught it so that the one car that was the only car that was still on the bridge at that point could get away. So it's like, I think that like James Gunn did a really good job of getting back to like the roots of Superman, and like, this is the Superman that we want. The guy who's not trying to break all the buildings, and the guy who's not trying to have civilian casualties, and actively trying to do that, I think is a good way to take it. And then like, yeah, I think he nailed Lois Lane and the relationship that Superman and Lois Lane have.
Yeah, and like Lois Lane being a strong female character in a movie in this day and age, who's not annoying. Like, who's not trying to preach a message, but who's just, she stands on the truth, and that's what she's going to do. And I mean, that could sound bad, what I just said, but think we all know what I mean. Like of these characters who are just there to like either fill a quota or preach some message.
Yeah.
There was none of that, and I was
none of that.
and I was almost like ready for it throughout
Yeah.
the movie. But she's just a great character.
Yeah, and like
it's-
James Gunn has proven time after time, like he's not there to preach a message, and his films aren't there to preach a message. Like the biggest thing was like in Guardians 3, right, which I think that was his last film with Marvel. You know, like there was that little bit of like, oh well, this is politicky kind of, but for the most part, he stayed far away from it. In the new movie, which I really appreciate.
I am so grateful that that's what he did. I mean, there's arguments being made for what political undertones are there, but even so, if to his credit, if this is somehow more about something in our world than it is at face value, then he took the time to put it in there
Correct.
gracefully.
Yeah.
So to the point of where it's not being shoved down your throat.
Yeah, it's not right
So
in your face.
and that's part of what they're trying to do with these DC movies is make them escapist, right?
Yeah.
And you're not going to make an escapist movie about modern issues,
Yeah.
right? So and that being said, like I am more excited about the DCU.
Me too.
I'm very excited for the Green Lantern movie
Yes.
that's coming out. I might not go see them all unless I hear differently, but I feel like the DCU's in good hands.
Correct.
I think tonally the movie's a bit all over the place, and when coming off the heels, at least from like my experience from superhero movies, which is not the most recent movie, coming from a movie like The Batman that in my mind nails dark and gritty superhero movie, like is a perfect dark and gritty superhero movie. Everything you could want from that. Has shortcomings as other things go, but it nails it for that. Then you have a movie that doesn't quite it's different. That's the thing is like, and I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this to be anything like The Batman, but I'm excited. I need to go see it again because I left the movie theater kind of being like, and you were there, being like, I don't know what I think, because it was kind of processing this like, I don't think I liked it. Which is kind of, to be totally fair, part of the like confusion of that is it takes a lot for me to not like a movie that I just watched. Like, it's kind of similar to my music taste. I just need like some element of the film that I like. And I think that's the thing is like stylistically it's kind of flat. I think the superhero designs are interesting, and I think maybe that's part of it that I haven't really given much thought to is like I have a certain cinematic style that I really like and really like makes me instantly buy into a movie that's not the aesthetic of Superman, which is not, again, this is not movies need to be everything I want them to be. This is just like, if I go see a movie, I then need to work through, okay, wait, was it this thing that I didn't like about it? Was it that? But I think it's good. I want to go see it again. I want to take my mom because my mom's a big Superman fan. So I'm going to take my mom and we'll see what it's like the second time around.
Yeah.
This is even like once it's on streaming or even home video, like it's still in contention. I just need to like I want to be able to figure it out. So stay tuned for Andy trying to figure out what didn't sit right about Superman. We are nearing the end of what we can do today. Do you have anything else? Oh, I want to say this, and I might, you know what? Nope, I'm going to save it for later. You already saw it. If you're watching this now, don't worry about it. You already saw it. So, do we have anything else? If you made it this far, thank you very much. Like and comment and subscribe. We say that because it helps the show.
Yeah.
But also, what would really help the show is if you shared it with a friend.
True.
That would really mean a lot, coming from your dear friends here at Bizarre Sunday. Please, and I will reiterate it. Send us your ideas for episodes that are ones for kind of like these. We'll do them every like 4 or 5. We'll do an episode like this where it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of less serious. I can't make any promises when the next one will be, but I guess that's what got the ball rolling with this. If you have ideas, send them to us. Don't tell us them when you see us.
True.
Please give us them in a form where they're written down, so we can remember them.
Email or comment section.
Yeah.
Or if you have our numbers, shoot them to us personally.
Yeah. bizarresunday@gmail.com is
on
where you
Instagram DM.
Yes.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm sure I've been told multiple episode ideas in person, and they're probably great.
Yes, it's just short-term memory loss is affecting our generation like no other. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening. This has been a really fun episode for us to record. Hopefully it's been a fun episode to listen to. And we'll be back probably next week with another episode.